Hi everyone, welcome to Timeline Tuesday. This week is going to cover the energy from April 28th to May 4th. So we are ending another month, you guys, and we're entering May. Happy May to everyone listening. We're still in Taurus season, so happy birthday to the Tauruses out there celebrating birthdays around this time of year. So, astrology has been a little bit jam packed lately. There's been a lot going on. In this reading, I'm going to focus on the tarot cards. And I'm going to start posting astrology on some of my other social media. So, let's go ahead and get into the tarot cards for the week of April 28th to May 4. I may pull a combination of tarot cards from several different decks, but I did feel led to use the Iris Oracle deck this week. It's a very colorful vibe. It's sort of innocent and simple. So I think we need some color. Depending on what card comes out from the Iris Oracle deck, maybe we'll pull another Oracle card, but I feel really led to see this deck is really like unique. Okay, so maybe this week is a little bit unique, you guys, and I do feel like we're finally getting the hang of things. All right, I feel like we're finally, after that Mercury retrograde that we just had, I feel like this may be the point in the timeline where we're really getting our mojo back. Okay, so with that being said, we may finally start putting the pieces together of the puzzle. We might actually start getting a better grip on reality, some solutions maybe coming forward in this point in the timeline. Okay, I feel like we're going to be showing up a little bit more. Things are going to become easier. Maybe this is just the energy coming forward with May, but because I'm feeling led to pull a card from this unique tarot, maybe this is the week where things get colorful again, where the color returns to our life. Maybe this is the week where we tap into our inner child, our innocence, our purity, just based on the deck that I wanted to use. This may be a very unique and unorthodox week, okay? You may have to do something a bit unusual. So let's tap in. Interesting. So we have pulled the card of Suppression of a Star Being by Hands Unworthy. Now, I got this deck a few years ago, and it's not a deck that I use all the time because it really is a very unique oracle deck. The artwork specifically is what draws me in, okay? So what I'm trying to say is this specific deck, I always pull this card. Whenever my hands touch this tarot deck, it always comes out. And this card specifically sticks out to me. Look at these wicked hands, okay? So, Suppression of a Star Being by Hands Unworthy. We've got some star children out there. We have some universe babes, some spiritual light workers, indigo children, rainbow stars, whatever you want to call this being on the ground here. And it's interesting that it looks like the fetal position, and we have some tears here. So, yeah, at this point in the timeline, it's time to remove ourselves from situations that oppress us, that, we're just not matching up with these energies. There's a lot of people, places, and things that are not worthy of having access to this star being. And these are people who, there could be pain. There could be someone out there who feels like they've reached just the end of their rope, like they're at rock bottom. And there's a few people, places, or things or dynamics in their life where there's this wickedness, okay? And these are people who we're being suppressed, okay? There's a situation here where someone's being suppressed and maybe even touched by hands unworthy. That's what I always think about when I come across this card, is the fact that energy can be transferred through touch. So be careful. And this may not be a literal touch. This could be metaphorical. This is about access. This is about something pure being in the midst or the presence of something not so pure, something with different intentions, okay? So I want to read from the deck. This is card number 1. This is really a card that always comes out for me when I talk with this deck. And the bottom of the deck is cast your sacred symbols. Okay, 63. 6 plus 3 is 9, right? So this could have to do with expanding your knowledge, the 9th house, Sagittarius, school, learning. So what can you learn from this situation? Okay, I want to look more into this, but I can tell already that this week or this point in the timeline is about removing those who are unworthy to be around you, no longer letting them to have access to you. I see all these lightning bolts. Like, this has shocked somebody, okay? Someone here has definitely experienced pain, all right? But what I'm seeing is to cast your sacred symbols. So everyone has important symbols that they see from the universe or God. That like could be a butterfly, a dragonfly, certain numbers, okay? The infinity symbol. Some of us work with sigils and stuff like that, but this is definitely about casting your magic. All right, it's time to protect yourself from what you know these green hands are for you. Okay, this is you, and these are people, places, and things unworthy of suppressing you. These are the different people, places, and things that we all feel suppressed by in different ways. We have make believe, believe in your sacred symbols. So let me read from this card. Oppression of a star being. Oppression, suppression of a star being by hands unworthy. You are a star, born not of this earth. Being a star, your light is bright and beautiful. You may not even fully notice at this time all of the magic you hold within you. Sometimes it can feel like the world is closing in on you and that people are out to get you, control you, or make you smaller or less. Know that connecting with your truest knowledge and the light will always lead you out of uncomfortable situations eventually. People or energies that want to push down, make others under their hands, are only grasping at your light in the only way that they know how. They could possibly feel that by controlling you, they have light, but they are misled, and they will also find, and this is one of those things that in this book, it doesn't say, it doesn't specify what they'll find. I don't know if this was a misprint, okay? So that's all that this says here, but a couple of things, all right? This is about remembering that we are the star self, okay? Your soul self, your higher self, and the fact that some of us truly were not born of this earth, right? So we're talking to the otherworldly beings here, those star children, those indigo children, those rainbow children. So this is about your light, okay? And what I really liked is that it said, you can feel like the world is closing in on you. People are out to get you, control you. And so some of us have been really feeling that way, controlled, like someone's trying to make us smaller. Now, this could be a situation where we had to play small because of those around us, okay? But when we tapped into that knowledge, this is about getting out of uncomfortable situations eventually. This might be the week where things are really starting to fall into place, where we're being released from uncomfortable situations. And this is going to be different for everyone, okay? So whatever's trying to push you down, or, it's literally just trying to siphon your light. So that's why it's saying, cast your sacred symbols, because there's something here. There's a controlling force here that's been trying to keep someone down, but they failed, okay? Interesting. So we know that there's some oppression going on. There's some suppression going on. September could be an important time frame. So maybe we'll pull another oracle card at the end, but let's go ahead and go into the tarot. Okay, messages for April 28th to May 4th. We have suppression of a star being by hands of the unworthy. Cast your sacred symbols to protect you from this suppression. All right, this is about knowing your worth. We are in Taurus season. Taurus season is all about worth. And to start this reading off, we do have 3 major arcana. I don't know if they were in this order because they kind of mixed up and almost fell. So we have the Lovers, we have the Judgment card, and the Hanged Man. This is Pluto and Neptune's energy hanging out. There's something here about sacrifice, changing perspective. There could be something here that is at a pause or a standstill until something was awakened. We have some archangel energy here as well. Archangel Gabriel. Okay, Archangel Raphael. So there could be a Gemini here or a relationship here that is going through some sort of judgment. And October could have been an important time frame as well, or October of 2026 in the future. So I don't know if this is a specific choice that someone feels led to make, because the Lovers card also talks about choice. There could be a Gemini here, a Scorpio, a Pisces. Okay, because we have Pluto and Neptune. So relationships in general could have felt a little bit under an intense light. There could be a relationship from the past here. Someone here may be changing their perspective about love and choices in relationships. Maybe there's some sort of connection that has awakened something in someone and has enlightened someone. So whether there's a Gemini here present or some sort of choice, there could be a phone call. Okay, something is calling two people together that is going to change the perspective on something. Okay, now this could be coming in at a very important time. I don't know if this is a soulmate connection. Someone has a higher calling here to connect with someone. Okay, this is really going to change someone's perspective. And we have the Two of Wands. All right, so we're in between the great before and the great beyond. There's choices here. There's something here about looking out into the distance, all right? There's something new here, a new path opening up for someone. And it's like their whole world is up ahead of them, a whole new life, a whole new perspective. Someone here at this point in the timeline has really heard the call. This may be a literal call that comes in this week. I don't know if this is about travel. This may be about a situation that was at a standstill or required some sort of surrender until someone made a choice. But there's something here where someone feels like their higher purpose, and that's why they're at this crossroads between two things that are on fire. This is two passions burning in a different way, but at this point someone has kind of chosen a new path for their individual world. And this is coming after a time period of sacrifice, surrender, new perspective, enlightenment, seeing something from a completely new angle. Okay, so our choices right now are very, very linked to those types of scenarios. And we do have the Judgment card here. So that does represent second chances, rebirth, awakening. We have choices at this point in the timeline going into May. You know, we do have a Scorpio full moon on May 1st. So some of this resurrection energy. Now, we do have Gemini energy showing up quite heavily here. I do believe maybe Venus and Uranus are in Gemini right now. So there could be some unexpected stuff going on when it comes to relationships or resources. So Knight of Swords. This is someone who is charging in quite quickly to say something, to do something. There's a need for clarity here. And I do have the Knight of Wands too. So that's Sagittarius. Maybe Gemini season is important here in a couple of weeks. Okay, there may be something here about our choices over the next couple of weeks and all that is going to awaken in our relationships. All right, we may need clarity. Maybe there's something here. Someone could have gotten patient and did or said something before the entire clarity was arrived. Something may need your immediate attention. Okay, now when the Knights show up for me in tarot readings, it does talk about quests. So there's someone here who's on a quest for the truth. They need clarity. There's a messenger here of truth, of quick truth. And then there's a messenger here of passion. Okay, this could be a little bit sporadic, spontaneous, unplanned, chaotic even when it comes to the things people are saying or expressing. Or you may just feel like the pressure is on right now, right? Like there's a need to kind of get on a horse and move. There's a lot of movement taking place. I see the Tower card wanting to come out. So there could even be sudden shakeups. Or you could feel like you're on the brink of everything falling apart and falling together at the same time. Either way, this is enlightening you. Either way, this is a situation that involves final judgment and choice. Like this is your second choice here. There's a lot of clarity and light. And we have the Knight of Pentacles, another Knight. Now we have the Three of Wands. So we spend a little bit of time between where we've been and where we're going, who we are and who we're becoming, what we've experienced so far and what we have yet to discover up ahead, right? We're in that in-between portal energy, but we do choose a new passion, and we're looking out over the next few days, over the next few weeks, over the next few months, and at all that is about to arrive. At this point, we may hear news about what is arriving, people, places, and things just over the shoreline there. We may have to turn our backs once we receive certain clarity. Some of us waited for an answer we never received here, and that played a part in our choices or our judgment or our karma. So we talked about nights meaning quests. All right, they mean movement, they're messengers. So there is some stability here. Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo. And this is coming up right underneath these three cards that came out together. So these three cards kind of mean something together, right? So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, there's some grounded energy. Maybe this is Taurus season kind of being practical and moving forward at a pace that is promising instead of over promising and short of shooting your chances too quickly. The Knight of Pentacles is a bit more stable, plans out their moves, actually shows up with what they said they were going to show up. So our choices are impacted. Our choices to get like a second opportunity here to make a choice that could change our perspective, but there's a quickness that needs to be involved in this. We kind of have to say something or decide something kind of quickly before things change forever. But then there's also this need, or there's an energy that comes in after things are quite fast, maybe the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, the last few days of April. But then as we head into May, that Scorpio full moon, that's going to be when there's like this culmination, this calm before the storm or after the storm, okay? So there's something here about really planning things out for the next 3 weeks, the next 3 months, planning things out for the next few days, your choices, your judgment. So if you were hanging out somewhere and there was a stalemate or some sort of pause where you kind of just felt like you were hanging around, there's going to be this gust of, finally you hear back about something. Finally, there's a decision that's made about something. And what this winds up being is hard work and stability. We have August energy, something here about moving slower until Virgo season, August time period, when work, routine, learning, mastering something. This is definitely Virgo energy showing up in some way, shape, or form. Whether you're a Virgo, you have Virgo energy, 6th house energy, whether you know a Virgo, work with a Virgo. There's something here about learning, studying, teaching. Okay, someone's trying to master a skill here. Maybe someone mastered a certain skill in the past when someone was, when things were still. Things were still, so you had time to pick up a certain skill set. You had time to refine your skills right before everything kind of picked up with this Knight of Swords energy. And then you made a choice. Someone said something. And then things slow down a little bit. And this is between now and August is coming up. $800 could be important here. $80, $8,000. But there's hard work here. Someone here is becoming a master at some sort of skill. They're going to refine some sort of skill. And we do have the card combination of the wish and the wish fulfillment. The star card is Aquarius energy. And then the 9 of Cups is talking about fulfillment, okay? Being surrounded by everything you could possibly want emotionally. So if only you could go back to the time where you felt, someone was laying on the floor here in the dark crying. Someone may have a memory of this. Just think back to that the hardest time. If only we could be someone for that past version of ourselves, that lets us know we make it out of this situation somehow, where things get better, right? It was a slow progress, but and I see that things are going to be even better in August, okay, in Virgo season. But there's some sort of star alignment here. There's some sort of cosmic wish or healing taking place. It's going to kind of renew someone's perspective. And this came in right in the nick of time, okay? So there's a need to move quicker in certain areas right now in the timeline, and there's a need to pull back and kind of plan and schedule. Okay, so we're gonna have to combine those two energies when it comes to these choices. And then we have certain healing and inspiration coming in as we work and build something in August or until August, okay? Some of us have a really strong, steady plan to protect us until then. It's very logical news. We may hear news about a job. Someone here may find out about some sort of steady resource. Or maybe someone has a job, but it doesn't start for a few weeks. Or they may have to do a little bit of traveling for this job or learn something new. But whatever this is, because someone could have had to wait 8 months for something. Someone waited 8 weeks for something. And while you waited, there were important choices, important things to reflect on. And now you're getting this like renewal, this second chance. And there was a lot that someone sacrificed to build this or to work on this skill. But I do see financial messages, even though it's been a while. Some of us have been waiting to hear something since last August. So it's almost been a year. Now, look at that Page of Pentacles coming out as the last card. This is definitely some sort of offer. When we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, this is a message, okay? Someone here is learning a new skill. They could even, there's a student here or a child or someone younger or someone who has some maturing to do. This is something that needs developing at this point in the timeline. It could be a young Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but this looks like a student, okay? We may have to put ourselves in the student position, but there's an offer here that we have to kind of decide quickly about. And I feel like the resources, this is definitely Taurus season, giving in. There's going to be a Taurus new moon in a couple of weeks, like middle of May. So I feel like, you know, Taurus is all about comfort and luxury and stability and all of that. So resources and stuff. So yeah, this is definitely some sort of resource, skill, or offer. Even though it took time to build this or align with this or gain this, it's going to take time, just like a seed would take time to be watered and planted, right? To grow. But this is definitely something that is going to help the person who was being suppressed by something unworthy. This is one of those sacred symbols showing up, okay? Even if it's like a pentacle symbol or a star could be a symbol for someone, it may show up in the symbol of money, okay? Because I do see something being offered. This could very well be a job offer, and there's something significant about the month of August, okay? Someone could have been out of work since then or for the past 8 weeks, but we do have the Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck, okay? I just saw 222. So when the moon is smiling, when the moon is in crescent form, there may be an important crossroads or decision. Now, this is when the air or the wind is blowing in two different directions, because two things can be true at once. But I always say that the truth can only be crossed by that which is also true. A lot of twos are showing up to me right now, so there could definitely be the archetype of choice. Okay, the Lover's card is choice, but what the tarot is showing me is that we really, really need to kind of reflect and think about our choices, because our choices are linked to judgment and renewal right now, resurrection, second chances, okay? So even though we felt like, because of how long things were paused, you know, you have to be careful letting that influence your decision making, because some of us, we were stagnant and hanging around for so long at a standstill that we wanted to charge forward really quickly and decide something to free us from this situation because we were being oppressed, right? But at some point, what we're going to realize is that we have to slow down and make a steady plan, okay? Slow way down, especially until August in some way, because there's so many things that want to be planted right now. I definitely see some sort of $800, $80, something like that. But this whole reading has to do with some sort of choice or crossroads, okay? Let's see what's beneath the Two of Swords. Oh, it's the Sun. So this is the kind of decision that you could make with your eyes closed, because you have inner clarity, okay? You can feel what decision is warm and what decision is cold. You can feel what decision would bring light to your life and what would further blind you even more, right? Yes, we have the Three of Swords. So this could be a heartbreaking clarity. This is the kind of thing where we've tried to blind ourselves from something we knew all along. It could involve a Leo. It could involve Leo season in August. It could involve a child. Okay, maybe we have to make a decision based on some sort of child or our inner child. We may feel heartbroken or lost. We may have to have heart-to-hearts with someone. Okay, the sun is definitely shining clarity and vitality on this situation. We may have to speak from our heart. Okay, but we have a decision to make about our happiness. We have a decision to make about our own clarity, our own light and joy. And that's exactly what we need to protect moving forward, because something is being offered to a person who has been stagnant It's like this information at the end of April going into May is exactly what we needed for this plan to work out until at least August. I see the number 18 that could be important, or 81, whatever that might mean. August 1st could be an important time period too. So I almost forgot, but we're gonna roll from the dice this week still and see how the dice fall. But it looks as if we're at a little bit of a crossroads. This doesn't feel like a typical crossroads. It feels like a really, really important choice, maybe between two offers, because we do have the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. This could be two job offers. This could be two different opportunities in our lives. I'm surprised the Two of Pentacles didn't show up, because this could turn into a juggling act. Okay. So between now and August, there's going to be two offers, something a bit new and something that we feel a little bit more stable or planned. Okay. You've had a chance to plan this out a little bit longer than this Page of Pentacles. This is a little bit older of a seed. Okay. It's grown a little bit faster than this. So keep that in mind when it comes to your choices and decisions here. So this is from April 28th to May 4th. And we do have the 10th house. We have the Pisces and we have Uranus. Okay, so the 10th house is Capricorn energy. Traditionally, it's the house that rules our career, it's like our mission, our legacy in the world. It's our midheaven, okay? So it's our legacy, our destiny. So I see this on the Judgment, and the number 10 has landed in reverse, inverted. So this could be about a plan in the past. Maybe there's a career from the past that is important, some sort of goal that we had in the past that has something to do with our purpose. That also is linked to what has been stagnant because we weren't making a certain choice, or someone else in the situation wasn't making a choice. So it kind of, some of us need to reflect on our goals and our ambitions. There's something here about maybe there's a career from the past that is resurrecting at this point. The past 10 years could be important. So this could be karma. And we do have the Pisces dice here. Someone here could have a Pisces 10th house. And I think that would make you, let's see what that would make you. Maybe that would make you a Gemini, I think. If Taurus is the 12th house of Gemini and Aries is the 11th, the Pisces would be the 10th house. So Gemini is showing up here strongly. Sun, Moon, or Rising Pisces. Someone here may have Uranus in Pisces, Pisces in the 10th house. But the Pisces symbol is landing in between the Knight of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. So there may be certain illusions. Maybe there's spiritual stuff going on. Maybe even our dreams are trying to show us certain details. So someone here would like to clear up confusion this time around so that the future or planning moving forward is more clear without any deception or confusion. There could be something subconscious going on, something imaginative, and that's coming in between the Knight of Swords. So this is about clarity, decisions. Okay, be careful of any confusion. Be careful of deciding things while you're confused as well, because that can be dangerous. And be careful of certain offers coming in. Follow your intuition about what direction you're going and what you're doing with these words, clarity, and thoughts. And then we have the Uranus. So someone could have Uranus in their 10th house. Uranus is Aquarius's planet. It talks about marching to the beat of your own drum, doing things a little bit unique, unorthodox. This is about innovation for the future, but it could also be unexpected. Okay, there's some kind of unexpected plan here resurrecting. Someone may have given up on this, or they were really close to giving up on this, and they finally heard news about this home environment or this job or this relationship. Okay, something is being resurrected at this point in the timeline because the universe seen a future with it. Even though it's in the past, there was always a future for this scenario. And that's why certain things sped up even though you spent ages, it felt like ages that you spent hanging there, laying on the ground crying. There's some sort of voice or clarity or truth or piece of information that reaches somebody right in the nick of time, and it enlightens them. It actually resurrects something in someone. And their choices moving forward are going to be chose with a different sword, if that makes sense. Someone here may choose something very unexpected. And then it's about creating a plan until at least August. And then by then, there's even more offers unexpectedly. This may be a little bit unorthodox. There may not be too much time to plan. But what I can tell you is that there's some sort of sacred energy coming in at this point. There was reasons to be at a crossroads. You were never stuck. I'm hearing you were never stuck. They were never going to be able to actually touch you or actually hurt you. And that's not to say that, this has traumatized someone. Someone is much stronger. They're going to come out of this situation a lot stronger when they make this choice. But you were protected the whole time throughout this. So I think I'm going to leave it here, you guys. Thank you for listening. And I will be back at the top of May to record the next timeline video. Bye.